Okay. Hi, everyone. So we're here at Atmosphere Latin America 2025 in Mexico City. Together, and we're with Luis Gerard, who is the president and CEO of FB Group. They are the platinum sponsor of our conference, so we're very happy that you're able to support us because you are the market leader in this region. So strategically, it's very important that we work with the major players in each market. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to ask you a few questions a little bit to better understand what FB Group is doing in this region. Okay, what is the kind of the vision that you have with some of the products that you have, the natural refrigerant products you're bringing to the market, which application areas, which countries, where do you see those trends? Because I think as a market leader, you have a big influence in the uptake of natural refrigerants in this region.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
So first question. Which natural refrigerant-based technologies do you work with?
Well, we work with all of them.
Okay.
We are producing equipment with ammonia, CO2, and R290. We do products with all the technologies. In
commercial and industrial.
We are the absolute market leaders in the commercial side for small self-contained and bottle coolers.
A lot of propane units.
Yes,
right?
Propane units. We produced over 1 million coils for the CO2 bottle coolers and self-contained equipment back in 2014.
Okay.
That was an effort of Coca-Cola that went crazy and started without having the horses in front of the carriage.
Yeah, but now obviously
that's dying out.
And now moved now to propane, right?
And in the last 2 or 3 years, we have been producing the R290 units and the R290 coils for the self-contained industry all over the world, from the States to Antarctica.
Okay. Now, and then about ammonia, you also have ammonia for larger installations. Do you have CO2 ammonia cascade systems or pure ammonia?
We have pure ammonia. We have a small charge ammonia and cascade ammonia installed in Mexico and South America.
Okay.
We have a plant in Chile that has been doing ammonia and CO2 products for over 20 years. And in Mexico, we have been producing them for 10 years.
So I mean, natural refrigerants are basically part of your day-to-day business now, right?
Now they are, yes. In the last 5 years, we have been moving more and more into natural refrigerants, especially for the industrial part, which it makes it easier to the adoption of the natural refrigerants.
Do you also work with CO2, transcritical CO2 for the larger?
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 supermarkets with CO2 transcritical. Right now, there are 2 in the process of being produced. So it's the beginning. There's not many supermarkets in Mexico. I think there are 2 supermarkets in whole Mexico that have CO2. One it was presented.
Yeah, just earlier today.
Yeah, and actually, when that was produced by our former partners.
Okay.
Because they were the owners of Kaiser Warren.
Yes, yeah. So FE Group is headquartered here in Mexico City.
Our headquarters is Mexico City.
Your main market is Mexico, but you're also very active in Chile, I believe, no?
In the whole South America, our company was precluded from going anywhere else but Mexico because our partners had an operation in Brazil.
Okay.
But when they sold the Brazilian operation, they opened the door for us to move south. Okay. So we have been in the South, in Central and South America for only 4 years.
Okay.
We were not present there at all.
Okay.
So, but now we bought a company in Chile that's part of our operations.
Yes.
And we have 4 plants. We have 1 plant in Monterrey that is basically supplying OEM air conditioning components. We have our main plant of refrigeration equipment, commercial, compression, and industrial evaporation and remote condensers in Querétaro. And we have the system plant in Mérida, which is the largest system producer in Latin America. And we have the plant in Chile.
So you're quite confident that you can play a very important role in Mexico, Central and South America. And clearly natural refrigerants will be a key part of that transition, right?
Absolutely.
You want to play a leading role in this.
We are ready to take the bull by the horns. Obviously, there is a lot of
challenges.
The challenges for this is basically there is regulation.
Okay.
All these countries have signed the Kigali Agreement and Montreal, but they are not really enforcing it across the countries.
Okay.
There is not one rule for everybody. So the countries that have been implementing more CO2 and more natural refrigerants are the ones that have some kind of government incentive.
Which ones are Chile? One?
Colombia has tax breaks. Chile is promoting it through regulation, and they're enforcing it.
Okay.
Peru.
Okay.
And Costa Rica.
So it's not a surprise if these are the countries where you're seeing a lot of movement on natural
refrigerants. Yes, because they're being promoted or incentivized by something.
Okay.
There's two kinds of incentives, positive or negative.
Yeah.
The positive is they give you tax breaks, they give you cheaper financing. That's one of the barriers. And the second barrier is the lack of competitive component supply in America because it's brand new.
Yeah.
We are basically a North American supply base, and the suppliers of North America are behind the 8 ball compared to Europe in natural refrigerant components.
Yes.
And the European components come at a premium.
Okay.
Why? Because they can. So they're
That's a message. That's a message.
That's against themselves because they are not being competitive.
Yeah.
And once the American supply base comes up to par in producing the components we need, they're going to be a lot lower.
Okay. Then there'll be a lot more price competition. Okay.
Yes. Right now, the European...
Okay. So right now, because in Europe, we've got the scalability, obviously. The economies of scale are there. So that's why the price is competitive in Europe. But we're still seeing that being an issue here in Mexico and Central and South America, right?
If they're going to...
That's a message that I think is that you're taking advantage of this platform to communicate to a lot of the suppliers that you work with. Many of them are in the room next door.
Yeah, they have to give us the same price structure, even though we don't have the volume.
Okay.
But the volume will come.
But you're exactly, and I think this is very important. You're quite confident that volume will come, right? Because you're present in the market.
Yes.
You see a lot of opportunities. Where do you see the biggest opportunities in terms of industries or segments or application areas? Where do you see the biggest opportunities?
I think it's happening a little bit like it's happening in the United States. Right now, you cannot use other refrigerant in New York other than naturals because they have a regulation for the state. So New York is like Europe already. So that's going to happen in the United States. California and New York are going to be ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
The rest is going to be taking a longer time. In Mexico, it depends on the government a lot, and it depends on the competitiveness of the supply base.
Okay, but if we put the regulations aside, where do you see the biggest opportunities in terms of applications, like supermarkets?
From supermarkets up, supermarkets and bigger, I see the biggest opportunity.
So the sky's the limit because we're talking about thousands of installations.
Thousands of installations. Yeah, we make like 300 units for racks for supermarkets today.
Okay.
Not with naturals because the market is not...
That we have to change, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, hopefully we can, right? But step by step.
It's a matter of incentivize, motivation by regulation, enforcement of regulation, and somebody has to make sense of the differential in cost because the volume you cannot put the volume ahead of the time.
Yeah, so I guess you'll be saying these kind of questions. You'll be asking these questions to the regulators that are attending this event tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, Luis. Really a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Likewise.
And we are ready to go.